You're listening to the Zine Collector Podcast, Episode 23, International Zine Month 2019 Wrap-Up. Hello, dear and wonderful zine friends. Welcome back to the Zine Collector Podcast. If you're new here, welcome, and many times welcome. I'm your host, Jaime Nyx, and this is the Zine Collector Podcast, where I chat about pretty much everything and anything related to zines. Yes, it's been a while again, but I'm not going to get into that because I figure that mentioning how long it's been since your last thing, like whether you do it in zines, which is technically a bit of a zine cliche. Oh, it's been, 2 years since my last, but anyway, a little bit of a tangent, but I am working on not saying, it's been this long, it's been so long, that sort of thing, because I feel that that's sort of a, not a self-punishment, but kind of a dig at myself to say that. And I think it's people taking a dig at themselves to say things like that. Oh, it's been this long, because it's okay. We're all, I think most of us, the majority of us in the zine verse are pretty chill about things, understand that life happens and all of that good stuff. So I am trying to be a bit kinder to myself. So if you catch me saying, that it's been this long since X, whether it be a podcast or Happy Mail Monday or anything else, feel free to call me on it and just tell me to be a little bit nicer to myself, okay? Sorry, as per usual, don't know where or why the voices happen. I just can't help myself. What? Theater student and all that. Oh, goodness me. It's good to be back in the doing the podcast, and it's good to be chatting with you all, whether you are listening on the podcast app of your choice or whether you are watching/listening on YouTube. Hello. Good to be back. Mind you, if you are watching/listening, you get to see me rocking pigtails for the first time in a very, very long time, and probably the first time ever on YouTube, that's for sure. But yeah, sometimes you just get in the mood and you do some things. But enough of my prattling on about this, that, and the other thing. Let's get to notes and announcements. The first of which is a very happy birthday to my friend Ryan of Pocket Thoughts. Woo! Hello, Ryan. It's funny because, I find it amusing anyway. I'm in Australia, he's in the US, so one of my joys with US friends is to wish them a happy birthday from the future because their birthday day comes to Australia before the US. Oh, time zones. You gotta have a little bit of fun with time zones because they're a pain in the bum usually. So yes, happy birthday to Ryan. Definitely check out Ryan's stuff. This isn't meant to be an advertisement or anything. It's definitely birthday wishes, but I have been working with Ryan recently and revamping a few of my text-based zines, namely the F Word, and in the future we'll be working on my horror short story, Don't Look Back, as well as another nonfiction piece, Hemp versus Cotton. And yeah, I am so excited about re-releasing the F Word with Ryan's artwork in it. It's just amazing. He ended up doing 2 possibilities for the cover, and I asked if I could use them both. So yeah, Ryan's work is totally awesome. And so yes, a big happy birthday to him today from a fellow Leo, from one Leo to another. Oh, goodness me. It is definitely either a very good day or a very bad day to be doing the podcast, depending on how I view my slightly bouncy energy levels. Next up in notes and announcements. I'm a bit nervous about this one, but I really want to just put it out there and say it, so kind of further push myself to do the thing. And I have decided that, I've had a lot of people sending zines specifically for review in the past months, probably this year. This year has definitely been a year of, could you review this, rather than me mostly reviewing zines that I buy or trade, that sort of thing. So I have been getting a little bit behind on zines that were sent specifically for review. So because of that, I want to declare December. Ooh, that's putting it a bit far off. Declare September the month of zine reviews. Now that I don't have a prompts list, I don't have any graphics or anything. This is a challenge for me, but if you want to participate, please let me know. I love to find new zine reviewers. I love to check out current zine reviewing friends and stuff like that. So if you want to do it, of course, but it's a big challenge. It's one zine review every single day of the month. And so yes, now you know I'm a little bit nervous to to mention it, to put it out into the Zineverse, as it was. But yeah, that's what my plan is for September. So if you want to cheer me on or anything like that, it's very much appreciated. But yes, I have been feeling, I mean, everybody's been understanding. No one has said a bad word or anything. It's been beautiful, and I love you all to bits and pieces for that. I love all the understanding. And so it's not coming from that sort of space. It's coming from my personal space of, this is my life that I get to do. People are sending me zines, and I want to give back what I've been given, what I am given in life. And I'm incredibly grateful. So yeah, I think September, a month of zine reviews, a zine review per day, is a big challenge, but it's one that I've decided that I want to do. So yes, wish me luck and all of that good stuff, and be sure to be following the blog or following me on Instagram for a month full of awesome zines. On the last bit for the news and announcements. Ooh, I'm upgrading myself, giving myself a promotion. Next on the notes and announcements, I'd like to put a little spotlight on a Kickstarter event. And full disclosure, I am heavily invested in this Kickstarter because I am a part of it. Put together by Yestin, the amazing Yestin of Zine Love fame. The Seas Comics anthology is on Kickstarter. It is, as of recording this, 88% funded. That means that we're only £56 away from goal. That's $92 Australian. That's $63 USD. So we're so close to having funded this comics anthology. So what am I talking about before I get into all of this stuff? I'm just going to read a bit from the press release, so I hope you forgive me, but it covers things better than my rambling could. So here we go. Exploring the theme of the experience of being an individual drop in the sea of humanity, the Seas offers strips that range from the beautiful cartooning of Motobus and Zeno to the fully abstract work by Gareth Hopkins. Designed and printed to be a beautiful object as much as a joy to read, the Sea contains 49 story pages in an A5 landscape format with color throughout, offering confessional stories through to science fiction. The talented creators featured range from the seasoned to the fresh-faced, delving into the personal thoughts of 12 humans to open your mind and please your eyes. Yes, how beautiful is that? Press release also put together by Yestin. Yestin is amazing. He approached me with this idea, I think last December, and I wasn't really clear on what he was going for, what he wanted to end up with, but this goes above and beyond. This anthology is just amazing. It's so amazing, and yes, it has put so much hard work to it. It's absolutely brilliant, and yes, I'm fully invested because one of my paintings, yes, I do occasionally paint, has made it in there, as well as a few of my words. So yes, I'm very excited about this. We're so close. Anything above and beyond goes to paying the artists involved. And to be quite honest with you, if there is an above and beyond, I will probably just use all of that to go towards additional copies of the Seas to go into the Sea Green Zines Easter, because I am just in love with this. I've seen the PDF, and I know a lot of us love the print copies more than the electronic copies, but even just the electronic copy has been really impressive to me. And if you'd like to know who else is involved besides yours truly, we have Ian Miller, cult fantasy illustrator, David Crane, a UK small press creator, Mr. Zinester. I reviewed Mr. Zinester's work. It's always spectacular. It's beautiful. I'll put some links in the description. Links in the show notes to a few of my reviews of his zines. Gareth Hopkins, a mainstay of the UK small press scene. Yeston, the editor of the Seas, who really, like, I cannot describe how much time, work, effort, love Yeston has put into this. He's truly been amazing through all this. Miranda Smart, a UK small press creator. Sophie L., a US resident and citizen of the world. Oh, I love that. I am a citizen of the world. My religion is to spread peace. I think that's the quote. Anyway, Vacuum Books, a US small press creator, yours truly, and Zeno the cartoonist, mysterious and enigmatic. All you need to know is there in the line and the story. Motobus produces zines and illustrations, and Simon Russell, a UK comic professional. Oh my, so there's so many names, and truly it's really brilliant. There's so many different styles and everything involved. It's really I will stop rambling and just say that also in the show notes there will be a link to Issue ISSUU, where you can check out 16 pages of the anthology for free. No commitments, nothing like that. So if you want to check it out, at least check out part of it before making any sort of commitment, you can check it out there. But know that it's greatly appreciated if you are able to support the Kickstarter, because yes, I'm so proud, and I never would have believed that I could be part of a comics anthology, but that's being a little bit I think I'm trying not to get into ego stroking, but I am very excited to be a part of something with so many great artists. So that I will leave it at that. Support the Seas Comics Anthology if you can, and thanks as always to Yeston for all of your hard work. Wow, I think that is the longest notes and announcement section I've ever done on this podcast. So there's that. And after notes and announcements comes Zine Events. So let's see what's happening in the world of Zine Events. On August 17th in Norfolk, Virginia, enjoy Zine Swap Showcase by Good at Being. On August 18th in Chicago, Illinois, we have Zine Mercado. On August 24th in Lancaster, Ohio, we have the Street Cat Zine Fest. Very cool. On August 29th in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, we have the DIY Workshop, which is a monthly event. And on August 31st in London, we have the Buy Any Zines Necessary Zines Fair. I do rather like that name. What can I say? And there is, as always, a lot more where that came from. If you'd like a direct link on zine events that are happening around in the world, or to check to see if there are zine events happening in your area, or to make sure your event or your favorite event is listed on the Zine World Events calendar, be sure to check out @fanzines, FANZZINES, on Twitter and Facebook. Links, as always, are in the show notes. I wish it's going to end up being like a game. Every time she said links in the description, eat a chocolate or have a Pringles, have a crisp or something. And moving on to the main section of the show. In the last episode, I talked about the coming International Zine Month 2019, all the excitement around that, how it works, how People can get involved at all of that good stuff. So that was a lot of fun. And here we are with this episode being the wrap up. And yeah, I know we're nearly halfway through August, but time flies when you're having fun. And what can I say? August is my birthday month, so I'm having fun. Goodness me. So International Zine Month, 31 days of prompts to get you in the zine zone. I love being involved. I've done International Zine Month for, gosh, I don't know how many years now. I've always enjoyed being involved, doing all of the things. I love that International Zine Month lasts a whole month. Like there's something to do every day. It's not just an international day. It's not just a week. It's a whole month, and I love it. Absolutely and completely. I like that Alex Reck, who puts the prompts list together every year. I love that she has zine activities that cover such a variety of facets when it comes to zines. We have like zine reviews, zine reading, finding new zines, finding new voices, reviews, all sorts of things, and of course trading and teaching other people about zines and all of that good stuff. Like it's all part of zine making. There's so many different little bits and bobs, so many different ways you can get involved, and I just appreciate that the prompts list covers and embraces a lot of that. Now I know that a month-long event can be a bit intimidating, but the thing to remember about International Zine Month is that it's about having fun. Now I get it. I get where the stress can come from. I completely understand. I have mentioned many times that I have a completionist heart, and that doesn't only mean that I want all of the zines in a zine series, that sort of thing. I also want to finish all the game achievements. I want to do all the side quests. And I definitely, absolutely always want to do all of the prompts for International Zine Month, but I couldn't. And I don't know that there is a year that I've been able to do all the zine, every single daily prompt. And that's okay. And a lot of people can't do every single daily prompt, and that's okay too. No one's judging you. No one's grading you. It's about having fun and reading old zine favorites and finding new zine favorites, connecting with other zine makers and zine people. Like it's about the fun. I do understand how it is easy to get sucked into the stress side of things. We live in this society where it's about production and what you're doing, what you're making, what you're producing, and it's with a society that's so like that, it's easy to have that sort of mindset dribble into your creative life, dribble into the things that should be fun. Like I mean, I know I mentioned it to be like, hey, I'm a gamer. But yeah, I do want to do all the side quests, and sometimes that can make my fun game time. I have to remind myself this is my fun game time, and this shouldn't be a stressful time. So I do understand, and it is hard, and it takes work to set your boundaries. It's hard work to set boundaries with other people, but I think in some ways it's harder, that it's harder to set mental boundaries for yourself. Because like I said, I mean, there's just so much pressure in society to create, to produce, to be doing, that it can feel like a failure when it's an activity that's meant to be a lot of fun. And I mean, heck, my immune system has all of the strength of a glass Christmas tree bauble in a house that has a cat in it, that sort of thing. I spent the entire last week of July pretty much just trying to sleep off whatever it was that got to me. So I understand the feeling frustrated as well that can come with not being able to do all the things, not being able to complete all of the things. So it's okay if you didn't have time to do a zine review. It's okay if you didn't have time to go to a zine event, or weren't able to go to a zine event, or don't have a local zine library, or anything like that. It's okay. It's about the fun. It's about the connection. And yeah, just believe you me, I'm right there with you. I'm not trying to preach. If I come across that way, just know that I'm preaching to myself as well. Goodness me. And that turned into a bit of a tangent that I didn't intend to go on, but there it is anyway. I don't think I'll cut it from the podcast, because you know what? I think it needs to be said. I think, zines are already doing this, but I think we do need to continue to examine what society is and what it's doing to us and what we can do to fix it and change things so it's better for us mentally, physically, all the good things. So back to International Zine Month. My favorite days when it comes to International Zine Month are probably like zine trade days, or the writing to other zine makers days. That especially the writing. I'm not sure what day it is. I don't have my International Zine Month list here, but it's the writing to a zine maker that you don't know, who you haven't written to before. I really love that. In previous years, I've written to a few people, just letting them know I really enjoyed their zines, that sort of thing. And that's always, spread a little positivity in the world. It's always welcome. But the big highlight from International Zine Month 2019 for me, it has to be the prompt that was actually an extra credit prompt, and that was the making of the 24-hour zine. Now, I'm realizing as I'm talking, I probably should have listened to the previous episode of the podcast, because I cannot remember if I've explained this, so I'll try to keep it short and sweet in case I did. How I do 24-hour zines is I prepare, I guess, if you will, and I ask people, usually on Instagram, for writing prompts, whether it be a single word, a theme, a writing, like a few sentences writing prompt, that sort of thing. And wow, I had a great time the first time. This is only the second time I've done it. I had a great time the first time I did it, and there were even more responses this year. And this year there were so many challenges and things that I just thought, no, I can't do. I can't draw, I can't do comics, that sort of thing. But some of the prompts came in, and I am determined to do a page at least for all of the prompts. And yeah, I have made a comic. Which, wow, blow my mind, that's for sure. I've made a comic, I have done collage, I have drawn things inspired by paintings. It's just, I'm not actually done yet. I have a non-consecutive 24 hours for my 24-hour zine, and I still have some time on the clock, so I will be finishing up. But yes, the whole thing, I did a lot of Instagram stories. I found that the first time doing live streaming, it was just a bit too exhausting to try to do that and make a zine at the same time. So I found the balance between not posting and live streaming, which is Instagram stories. And that was a lot of fun. And I had a lot of great feedback from doing it that way. And I highly encourage you, give it a go if you are on the Instagram. So yes, it was just a great experience for me. I loved the community way of making a 24-hour zine. Obviously, you can make a 24-hour zine how you want to do it. You can do it consecutive hours. You can do it by yourself. You can do it in a group. However you want to do it. This is just the way I choose to do it and the way I enjoy doing it. But on that note, that's something you can really do with International Zine Month with other days as well. You can take one of the prompts, you can take one of the activities and really make it your own. Maybe on one of the zine reading days, instead of reading one zine, you can challenge yourself to read a set amount of zines. Or you could do a 24-hour zine reading day in which, read a zine an hour for 24 hours, something like that, and maybe post short reviews of each or something along those lines. Or on a zine trade day, you can make a goal of I want to trade with this many zine makers in the month. Or even you could do a meta type of zine and make a zine about International Zine Month. I've seen one by Hadass about International Zine Month, and one from Billy of the East Coast Adventures, or Proof I Exist, or many other zines fame. They both have International Zine Month zines, and I swear there's got to be at least a few more, but they're not coming to mind right now, so I apologize if I have your International Zine Month zine and can't remember at the moment. But yes, so you can make it your own. It's very flexible in that too. Like that it's the epitome of zines and zine making. It's all flexible, make it your own. It's all about the celebration of zines. And speaking of joining in International Zine Month in your own way, I wanted to give a few shout outs to other people who have participated in International Zine Month. The first being Nina Echo Zina. Woo! And Chainsaw Bunny. Very cool, very awesome. I love Nina's work. I've worked with Nina for zine covers and things like that, and Nina took a very relaxed approach to International Zine Month, didn't stress too much. I always love reading Nina's blog posts. Goodness, I get tongue-tied. I just get so excited about things. But yes, I always enjoy reading Nina's blog posts, and Nina regularly does a kind of a zine review wrap-up, and that's a great way to find new to you zines and things like that. So shout out to Nina, and also shout out to Hadass of Riot Girl. Now I'll have of course links in the show notes. And yeah, Hadass took a weekly sort of approach to International Zine Month, kind of doing little wrap-ups at the end of the week, which I thought was an excellent idea. And both Nina and Hadass have their measured, kind of more relaxed, realistic approaches to International Zine Month. Helped me to calm down a bit when I was getting behind with things and getting a little too wrapped up with the competitive nature of my brain, the self-competitive nature. So yes, they helped me a lot. Their posts are fantastic. I actually have a few to catch up on, but they're great reading always. And Hadass and I have been trying to get some of my mail, like my zines, over to her in Israel for ages now, and I'm so glad they've finally landed. So extra shout out to Hadass for all the patience and goodness and everything like that. I'm glad they finally landed. Now, the last shout out I wanted to give is a big shout out to Rich of Ferrule Publication, who, I know that we had a really big fight, and I just have to say, double-sided tape is better than glue sticks. I'm sorry. And I know Rich and I had this big fight about it, but I mean, we've sorted out our differences and we've become stronger friends because of it. Just kidding. I'm sorry. That's my version of a prank. Yeah, I'm reminded of why I don't really like pranks or April Fool's Day or anything like that. Rich and I did not have a fight over whether glue sticks or double-sided tape is better. It was one of those funny little discussions. Anyway, just kidding. There was no fight. Rich is an awesome zine maker, a YouTuber, a zine YouTuber. Rich made an International Zine Month series and is currently, as of recording this, doing a Zinester Spotlight series as well, and it's so cool. Rich and I chatted a lot during International Zine Month, and I love listening to his ideas about zines, about culture, and his ideas about setting up a coffee and zines space sometime in the future. So US people, you will soon have soon enough have a great new place to check out, that is for sure. Directly and indirectly, Rich has really been giving me a lot to think about in terms of self-care, overworking, and similar subjects like that. And some of that spills over into his zine reviews, his zine videos as well. So if you haven't checked him out, he also reviews zines as well. Definitely check out his channel if you haven't subscribed. Like, get into it. He's a great voice in the zine world, that is for sure, and his voice is one I greatly appreciated and have greatly appreciated, especially over International Zine Month, when I think we were both feeling I think we both got a little caught up in what we thought we should be doing rather than relaxing and enjoying it for what it is. So yes, big shout out to Rich as well. And on that note, I will end the show today and get to editing, and hope that, unlike on Happy Mail Monday, that YouTube will cooperate and not wait until 1 a.m., 2 a.m. or something like that to actually post my video. So yes, thank you so much, zine friends. Thank you for joining me today. All of that good stuff. It's a pleasure as always to be here, and I'm very grateful for those who listen and those who watch. If you have any questions about zines, zine reviewing, me, anything sort of zine related, you can always message me. Instagram messaging is good. Email is good. seagreenzines@gmail.com. Those are probably my two main ones. I am a little bit behind in emails, but I usually try to get back to people within a few days. And if I don't know the answer to your question, I will do my best to point you to someone who will be able to help you out. So there we go. Remember, everything I say is just my opinion. There are no gatekeepers in the zine-verse, nor should there be. I am just your fluffy fairy zine mum, hanging out in the zine cave in rural Australia, just doing my thing, talking about zines. So yeah, I'm definitely I'm not an authority. I just a helper. There are a lot of great things and a lot of great people that I talked about this episode. So yes, definitely be sure to check out those links in the show notes. I'm not sure how the show notes come out on every single platform. I do have quite a few podcast apps installed so I can look at that sort of thing, but I don't have a lot of control. I upload my podcasts through Pippa, and that kind of spreads out to the various like Spotify and iTunes and stuff like that. But so I don't have a lot of control over the format of the show notes. So if your chosen podcast platform, the show notes are a jumbled mess or stuff like that, you can always go to seagreenzines.com and get the clear, readable version of the show notes with all of the clickable links and all of that good stuff. Or you could just stop by seagreenzines.com anyway, because I review zines and open zine mail and do all kinds of fun stuff. At least I find it fun. So yeah. And now for the legal fun stuff. The music for this podcast, Spanish Summer by Audionautics, is licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution license. And that is it, my friends. This is the Zine Collector Podcast. I'm your host, Jaime Nyx. And until next time, make some zines and spread a little sunshine. Mwah! And I just realized I forgot one of the announcements in the notes and announcements. But yeah, guess I'll have to wait until next time.